All right, today we will be covering lesson 4-1, which is segments and midpoints. Segments and midpoints. On the previous 5 slides, you probably saw a few paragraphs, a couple of rulers, math terms, reading terms. Let's talk a little bit about what you've seen so far. It says in geometry, axioms or postulates are statements that are accepted as true without proof in order to provide a starting point for deductive reasoning. Like point, line, and plane, distance along a line is an undefined term in geometry used to define other geometric terms. For example, the length of a line segment is the distance between its endpoints. If 2 points are no more than 1 foot apart, you can find the distance between them by using an ordinary ruler. The inch rulers below have been reduced to fit on the page. You should have been provided a ruler at the start of the lesson, and you should be using the inch side, so the 1 through 12 side is what you'll be using. Okay, it says in this figure below, the distance between point A and point B is 5 inches. Or sorry, the one above this picture. Of course, there's no need to place the 0 of the ruler on point A. In the figure below, the 2-inch mark is on point A. In this case, AB measured in inches is 7 minus 2, absolute value, which equals 2 minus 7 absolute value, which is 5, as before. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to chunk our lesson questions 1 through 4. And if you look, let's take a look at these. It says the number obtained as a measure of distance depends on the unit of length. For example, the distance between 2 points in inches will be different number than the distance between 2 points in centimeters. Determine the length of each segment in centimeters. Okay, so it's asking for us to do this one in centimeters. So when y'all do this, you're going to have to place it on the side that has the tick marks. It says cm, and each one of those little tick marks represents a tenth. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and so on. Okay. It says it wants you to find the distance from DE. It wants you to find the distance of EF. And then it wants you to find the distance of D all the way to F. And again, don't forget, they want you to cover centimeters here. You also will be doing questions 2, 3, and 4. Let's take a look at this. It says, attend to precision. Determine the length of each segment in centimeters to the nearest tenth. Again, each one of those is going to be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and so on. You're going to have to use your ruler again. I want you to find the measure of KH, HG, and GK. Number 3 says, using your results from items 1 and 2, describe any patterns you notice. Given that N is the point between endpoints M and P of a line segment MP, describe how to determine the length of line segment MP without measuring if you're given the lengths of line segment MN and line segment NP. I want you to take the next 7 minutes to work on these 4 problems with your table mates. So go ahead and pause your video right now and work on questions 1 through 4 for the next 7 minutes. As you can see, the answers to questions 1, 2, 3, and 4 will now be provided for you. I want to highlight the answers from question number 1 and question number 2, and let's just talk about the the following and see if you came up to the right conclusion for number 4. When I measured, I came up with about 2.5 centimeters. For my EF, I came up with 5.7. And for the entire length, it was 8.2. Now, if you notice, we have a piece plus a piece equals the whole thing. So if you follow, we've got 2.5 plus 5.7 equals 8.3. So I'm going to write that down. 2.5 plus 5.7 equals 8.3. Oops, sorry. Take that back. 8.2, I apologize. 8.2. Now, let's take a look at number 2. Number 2, I measured KH to be 4.9. I measured HG to be 5.7. And I measured KG to be 10.6. So again, let's see if that same piece holds true. 4.9 plus 5.7 equals 10.6. Still works. So what you should have summarized in question 3, had you seen this piece, it says, using your results from items 1 and 2, describe the patterns you notice. Well, when I add the two smaller numbers together, I get the largest length, the length of the whole thing. So a part plus a part equals the whole. So that leads to this equation that we're about to talk about, which is the segment addition postulate. And that says that if N is between M and P, then MN plus NP equals MP. I'm just going to show you what this would look at like on a line. This would look something like this. M and P and N is somewhere in the middle. So this piece plus this piece equals the whole thing. On to your debriefing question.